welcome to the show, Sports Spring on Western Swing Television, the midweek edition, and we're set to give you stories making headlines in the ever-busy world of sports. My name is Joseph ATEWE saying good morning.
And I am NENGI ERNEST ADEMOLA. Good morning and thanks for joining us on the midweek edition of Sports Spring on Western Spring Television. A whole lot to talk about, just like Joseph has rightly stated. In the world of the Nigerian Premier League, a whole lot of transfer going on because some of the teams and clubs are trying to put their house in order to aid a better performance in the 2023-2024 season. Aside from that, the SW19 fixtures for day 10 might be tagged as the reunion or revenge because we have the likes of Igor Swiatek also facing last year's winner in person of Elena Rybakina. Aside from that, in the world of Formula One, it is good news for McLaren as Daniel Ricciardo is set to get back into the world of Formula One. All of this and more is what we're dishing out to you this morning. Welcome on board once again. And
now let's start from the local scene. We start with ATEWE, and the coach Finidi George has said that the loss that game to Katsina United are based on fatigue. These are as well drawn different opinions from football fans are saying don't blame it rather on fatigue. Your team didn't do enough to get the needed win in that one. But Finidi George insists that it is based on fatigue, that his players were tired.
I think I saw the news right from yesterday circulating all around social media, all around even the Npfl platform, the Npfl news platform and all of that. Now, I was even about to ask you what your opinion is on that. Is it an excuse or a fact? Because for me, I feel like it's a fact. They've been able to play all throughout their bridge league season, get into the Npfl Super 6, won the title for the 9th time. And if you can recall, at the starting part of the Niger Super 8, one example is Bendel Insurance, who rested all their starting 11, all of them, and made sure that they recruited in some people who have been on the bench for a long time, or some academy players to field in those people for them. And at the end of the day, they were just out. I mean, they didn't attach so much importance. So is it an excuse or a fact for Finidi George?
Any professional club around the world must have at least 22 players. And if you're bringing in players, because of the amount of costs and trying to get A-list players, having 23 players that are A-list players, you see them drag some from academy, and sometimes they look for cheaper players. That is where you have them placing the FA Cup, in the Carling Cup, but when it comes to the league proper or the UEFA Champions League, you have these guys. That's the A-list players now. Play. I believe for the Nigeria Super 8, because there's a lot of money involved. Absolutely. They should be able to rotate the team, no matter how bad Manchester City can be hit with injury. I still believe the bench will come in and still give you a shot. Or any other club in the Premier League will still give you a shot. And I think that is what we need to work on. As I said earlier, some days ago rather, that we have a long way to go. We are still trying to deal with officiating. We're still trying to deal with fans, unruly fans rather, that comes to stadium. There's a long way to go, and this is part of the problem, because if you look at the ATEWE squad, take out 6 out of the 11 players and see how they crumble. So those are and that's why you have maybe that 6 earning 800, 900, some 1 million naira, and you have the rest earn 200, 150, 300,000 naira per month. So they're not yet financially stable to get those players. So to an extent, you want to agree, and we feel the judge that maybe fatigue sets in. But then, as I said, any professional club should have. And I'm happy they removed the P.
And that's to also let you know that from the next season, that's the 2023-2024 season, it will now be known as the Nigerian Premier League. No more the Nigerian Premier Football League. It was Nigerian Professional Football League before they changed it to Nigerian Premier Football League, and right now we're sticking with Nigerian Premier League. I'm sure Legola and
the rest, they all know what they're doing. I mean, they're listening, and that is why they removed the P. To be honest, there's nothing professional about the league, and I'm not abusing them or trying to concede. There's constructive criticism, and there's destructive. I believe this should be constructive right now, trying to say the truth, do you understand? So it can get better.
Exactly.
And thank God they removed the P once again. And
replaced it with a better P.
Yeah, Premier.
I think Premier is okay for us.
Question, but let's save it like that for now.
All right, now getting into details still on the Niger Super 8. The Npfl champions as ATEWE has been eliminated from the ongoing Niger Super 8 tournament in Lagos after a shocking 2-1 defeat to Katsina United. But the jostle for the semi-final tickets in Group A will go down the wire after Sporting Lagos also beat Ramo Stars 2-1 at the Mobolaji Johnson Arena on Tuesday. We are talking about the Niger Super 8. Now, after a goalless first half, Katsina United raced to a 2-goal lead inside 2 minutes, with Ibrahim Yahaya scoring first in the 54th minute, while Nasivi Yaya added the second from the spot in the 56th minute after Somari Alalibo handled the ball in the box. And let's give you full results of yesterday. Katsina United won against Enyimba FC, just like I have rightly stated. 2-1 in favor of Katsina United. That one ended. And also Remo Stars actually lost to Sporting FC Lagos. 2-1, it ended in favor of Sporting Lagos. And currently, how the group stands, we have Katsina United with 4 points. As for Group A, Katsina United 4 points, Sporting Lagos 4 points, Remo Stars 4 points, and Enyimba FC with just 1 point. And definitely they are out. So I think at this point in time, they would actually have to rest the hands that they have fielded so far and prepare for the forthcoming season. But then, you know, people are of the opinion that the match between Remo Stars and Sporting FC of Lagos actually, you know, maintains a bragging right. I understand the headlines talking about the fact that there needs to be a healthy competition, there needs to be a healthy rivalry when it comes to the world of sports, also in the local league. But then I do not think that there's any form of bragging rights right here.
Well, I tell you sometimes that you have some clubs where they're pumping money to promote their club. I'll also let you know that when you go for reports, there's what they call paid reports. And of course, you just go in because it's for the general public, you just reporting generally. I also said yesterday that Sporting Lagos have enough money right now.
Absolutely, they do.
With the players they're bringing.
They do. They've gotten some players
Leipzig,
also.
That was formed in 2008. Nobody will know Leipzig was formed in 2008, 2009. But they had so much money to pump in. And today, the rest is history. They're competing with the big boys in Germany and, of course, across the world. Where I'm driving at is that the person that wrote that story was paid. Because it makes no sense that the club that was formed in 2022, formed in 2022, you're saying they've maintained, they are now ahead of Remo Stars, bragging rights. Well, he's doing his own job because he collected money, and that's where he sees his own money. But then back to that game, Sporting Lagos are trying to make a statement, as I said yesterday too, that they are here to stay and they are here to compete.
They want to rub shoulders with the big boys. Anybody, that's what they're telling you, anybody. But then when they get to the Premier League, we'll see how that one pans out to be come the 2023-2024 season. Now, still on other stories in the Nigerian Premier Football League, let's talk about the fact that I think we gave this information yesterday, talking about the fact that it is now official that Kanu Nwankwo has joined Enyimba FC. And let's get into a bit of details as it concerns that particular one. Now, it's a reunion of two former club teammates, as former Super Eagles captain Kanu Nwankwo was confirmed supervisor of the 9-time Npfl champions Enyimba, who are currently coached by Finidi George. Now, Kanu's appointment eventually takes effect after protracted rumors of him taking over from Nigerian Football Federation's vice president, Felix Anyasi-Agu, who has been in charge of the club for over 2 decades. The club won 9 leagues title and 2 CAF Champions League titles in that period. And of course, the board of the People's Elephant was dissolved by the Abia State government last week, while Kanu's appointment was contained in a statement released by the Abia State Commissioner for Information, OK Kanu, on Monday. And according to them, the statement read actually in part that the sporting legend and former Super Eagles star Kanu Nwankwo has been appointed to supervise Enyimba Football Club to strengthen the team and make it win more laurels for the state. That is how it stands when it comes to the official announcement of Kanu Nwankwo into the Enyimba FC team. All right, away from that, with the start of the 2023-2024 football season fast approaching, the management of 7-time Nigerian League champions, acting on the recommendation of the technical crew, have approved the release of 8 players from the squad that defended its colours in the 2022-2023 season. Administrative Secretary of the Flying Antelopes, and that is Barrister Ferdinand Ugwara, while making available the list, stated that the team was working round the clock to ensure that the team is balanced in all positions to challenge for honours in the coming season effectively, while wishing the affected players well wherever they find themselves. Keywords: wherever they find themselves. Now, the players involved are Chidera Eze, Jacob John, Innocent Gabriel,
Emmanuel Charles, Ruben Bala, Adam Musa, Rabi Adamu, and Oye Kuzuru Okoro. And but I really don't know how it works. We have a long way to go. We must always say that.
Yeah.
And I hope they have a contract. I hope, because nowhere in this statement that states that their contract expired. Do you understand? They were released. I was speaking to the media of South United, and I shook my head one day because they looked at me as if I was stupid. You know, a set of player executes the entire game for a season, and the next day the man told me at the stadium there that, well, Dad told us they're not good enough. We're going to let them go. Don't they have a contract? I went to meet one of the players. I said, I know that he knows one, but Jimo saw him. You know, we have a long way to go. This is a professional league. Yeah. Honestly, not until your arrival. I must say this. I hardly dive into local stories. Not that I don't like it, but because every time you talk about one story, on local scene, you have headache. And because some people are not doing the right thing. So the statement reads again that they've been released. And I'm sure if you do thorough investigation, there was no contract involved. And the story also said executed the 2022-2023 season. A professional club, at that point, if their contract was about to expire, what do? You try to sell them, like what they're doing with Kylian Mbappe. You try to sell them so you can cash out on them. Of course. So it means there was no contract. And you call this a professional league.
You know, this has posed a lot of problem, so far so good in the NPFL. And aside from that, now, I think we did talk about the story yesterday, whereby South United were frowning at the use of some of their players. They called it illegal possession by, I think, Lobby Stars or Rivers United, if I'm not mistaken, right here. And aside from that, we also got a news from Enyimba United that they will be releasing about 18 players at the end of their contract.
Which is, do you get it? You know, they made it a joke. I think it was Alex Iwobi that was on the podcast. They made it a joke that they loaned the player to Enyimba.
And
they loaned the player from, I think it was one of the club, Lobby Stars to Enyimba. Enyimba sold the player.
And it was a joke. I mean, Alex Iwobi literally laughed at it.
Yeah, because I
do not know if it's Enyimba or Lobby Stars, but they just said one of the teams, one of the clubs.
They give me players. They use this team,
You use,
When
you say like, it's quite funny though. It's quite funny. But I think, just like Joseph has rightly stated, we have a long way to go in terms of all of this. Now, these days we've been finding it in contracts, so far so good, concerning some players who have moved from Remo to Sporting FC of Lagos and all of that. We'll find the proper contracts to that, and we do hope that other clubs will be able to adopt this means in order to avoid future scandals or controversies as it concerns that one. Now, because time is no longer our friend, of course, let's give you some transfer gossip as it is happening in the Nigerian Premier Football League. We'll start from Daniel Ogumodede's team. Now, he has given reasons why Ramo Stars opted to extend Dayo Ojo's contract after the back and forth regarding salary increase and sign-on fees. Now, the Super Eagles midfielder Dayo Ojo left Ramo Stars following the expiration of his contract with the club. Ojo spent 2 seasons with the Nigerian Premier League side, and he was an integral part of Ogumodede's side. Now, during his time at the club, the playmaker helped the Sky Blue qualify for the CAF Confederations Cup and the Champions League respectively, including finishing second at the just concluded championship playoffs. Now, recently, the former Enyimba box-to-box midfielder had his contract extended for another year till 2024 and will earn more than 600,000 per month with the new deal. That is how it stands with the Ramo Stars and, of course, Dayo.
I wish him all the best. He's a friend of the house. He's a good friend to Deji Sunday, and of course, whenever he's around, I remember 2021, 2022, come out and hang around, the free-spirited person. I wish him all the best. But then I still wondered why a beautiful player like this, we still have in Nigeria. I think his agents are not doing enough. But we wish him all the best. 600K per month, is that what it is?
600K per month.
We wish him all the best.
And of course, our other transfer news coming right here from the Twitter handle of the NPFL. This right here says, breaking: former Golden Eaglets and Akwa United coach John Obu has reportedly been named the new chairman of Abia Warriors ahead of the new NPFL season. Abia Warriors in the middle for the NPFL last season that was just concluded. We do hope that they get to find their grounds when it comes to the 2023 and 2024 season. And finally, on the NPFL transfer, we also know that it's the transfer scoop that midfielder Kelly Kester will play for Bendel Insurance next season and an unveiling is quite imminent.
And away from that, all is set for the much-awaited maiden Nationwide League 1 on the 19th youth schedule to officially kick off on Wednesday, the 12th of July, according to a directive from the Secretariat. Now, Dosu Joseph FC is warming up to slug it out with Authority FC in a star match of Match Day 1. The NLO Secretariat chose Legacy Pitch, the National Stadium Surulere, as the battleground of the encounter. The NLO Media Department disclosed this in a statement that the match will commence by 4 p.m. We expect the clubs to adhere strictly to the rules and regulations. I like that part, and that's the key word. That's the message to the clubs.
And of course,
to the strict rules. And it's simple.
It's as simple as that, because to avoid controversies, to avoid so many things that you could actually foresee and, you know, push it aside. So I think they should adhere to strict instructions and regulations as laid by the NLO for a successful season at the end of the day. Now, let's give you updates coming from the Super Falcons. So far, so good. We do understand that training has continued, and as I think it's remaining 10 or 9 days to the FIFA Women's World Cup. So far, so good. I think we've had the only player we've not gotten updates from is what's her name now? Is it Halimatu Ainde? We do not know if she's in camp right now, but we believe that she must have been in camp. But currently, we do know that the hard work continues for the Super Falcons of Nigeria, as they have been involved in so many trainings ahead of their first game.
And these are players to watch at the World Cup for Nigeria.
Absolutely.
And whoever compiled this list did a great job. Assisa Toshola, no doubt, machine, anytime, any day. Michel Alozie, beautiful player. You know, when I was watching the Super Falcons at the African Cup of Nations, I asked someone, a man or woman, be that not because of the body structure, but because of her pace, because of her performance. I don't know if we can have that in full. We also have Uchenna, it's Uchenna Kanu, another beautiful player. Ashley Pomdry, great defender. Of course. Rashida Tajibade, have you watched her play? There's also Chiamaka Nadozie. Honestly, that's why I said whoever compared this. But there are other names too. Other names, yes. This girl, absolutely. Gift Monday. Yeah. Another sweet player. Another sweet player. But one mistake the coach made at the African Cup of Nations was starting Onumonu. Honestly, you really don't know why you start an Onumonu ahead of a Gift Monday. Yeah, so many people criticize that actually. And let's just dive into a bit of details as it concerns each and every of this player being shown on your screen. Now, for Asisa Toshola, undoubtedly the player to watch in the Nigerian side is Oshoala, because currently she's one of the best forwards in women's football. Oshoala has been shortlisted for the 2023 FIFA Ballon d'Or. That's the Socrates Award. Now, her incredible record of 83 goals in 89 games at club side Barcelona speaks volume about her talent, and I tell you for sure this girl is up and doing, and she's bringing that right here into the squad. For Ashley Plumtree, the Leicester City women's centre-back, Plumtree has been gaining recognition in the English Women's Super League with her fine performances, week in, week out, instrumental in helping a club retain their top-flight status last season. And of course, the 25-year-old defender brings a no-nonsense and energetic style of play to the Nigerian team. And with 11 caps already under her belt, she will be a key player for Nigeria's exploit in the tournament. I do remember vividly when this lady actually switched her allegiance to Nigeria, and currently all eyes on her due to her performance. As for Michel Alozie, she's rated among the most beautiful footballers at the Women's World Cup after making a debut for the senior national team in 2021. And of course, the 26-year-old has become a regular name of the squad. For Uche Kanu, I tell you for sure, this lady is, she's very versatile when it comes to her job on that pitch. And for Chiamaka Nadozie, the Paris FC goalkeeper is widely regarded as the best on the continent. And so far, so good. All of these people would bring what they've been doing in their clubs, playing in the top flight leagues. They will bring it down to the Super Falcons to enable them get very far in the competition. And finally, on the local scene, no fewer than 12 teams will participate in the forthcoming National Women's Rugby. The 7th tournaments are holding in Asaba Delta States this week. Now, the two-day tournament, which is scheduled to take off on the 15th through the 16th of July 2023, will see 12 women teams from across the country and clubs participating in the championship. Now, ahead of the tournament, 4 teams from Southeast have confirmed their participation, which are Eastern Springbok, RFC Anambra, Abia State, Abia State Rugby FC, Coal City Angels, and Heartland Pyramid Rugby Team of Imo State. From Lagos, Nigerian Police Rugby Club, Gusa Rugby Club, there's Navy Bags, there's a lot of them. But the key news is that no fewer than 12 teams will be participating. Of
course, and that is being displayed on your screen right about now. Now, that brings us to the end of the first half of the program. Let's get on a break and show you highlights of matches going across in the world of Wimbledon. Just to let you know, guys, that that popular name, the name I told you from day one, would win the SW19, which is the Wimbledon, is out of the competition. And that is Iga Swiatek. She was well beaten. We'll be back.